Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.com, and I've been with them for a long time. BetterHelp is an online platform where we found that you can effectively communicate with your therapist. Now, you begin by filling out a questionnaire, and then you'll be matched with a therapist within a couple of days. And if that match isn't ideal for you, you can certainly make an adjustment there. Now, you're going to be encouraged to journal, and also they have the availability for group therapy on a wide array of topics, and I really like that. So as the need exists, go ahead and take the necessary steps to get the help that you need. And just know that BetterHelp has a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, so it indeed is a platform you can trust. There's a link below the video that will take you there. Let's focus today on two of the most common features of narcissism, and those are the ingredients of control. They need to have control over you, and then they want to have dominance and superiority. Narcissists have such a strong need to be the superimposing kind of person that they can come towards you in this powerful, power-hungry kind of way. And in doing so, they have no compunctions whatsoever about trying to take your power away from you. They want to squelch you. They want to subvert you and then bring you under their sphere of influence. It's not a very good formula for successful relationships, but that's what they bring to the equation. The net result, of course, is going to be their invalidation of you. They can be highly abusive. They can be broadly insensitive. And all of this is evidenced by many ancillary traits that go along with narcissism. For example, they can be argumentative and critical and unconcerned about your needs or your feelings. They can give you unsolicited advice. They have a craving for psychological admiration. They're very self-protective in a very unhealthy kind of way. They have overbearing opinions. Sometimes they can have unruly anger to the point of rage and meanness and harshness and contempt. I mean, those are the byproducts of a person who seeks control and superiority, which is part of their power grab. Now, all of this requires a counterpart, and that's where you come in. Narcissists are not satisfied in just saying, well, I'm going to be a powerful person. They have to have somebody to have power over. And as a result, they need you to be in a subordinate position. And I'm hoping you can see that narcissists, when they give the impression that they want to have a relationship with you, it's false. They don't want to have relationships. They simply want to have transactions where they get to be the winner. Now, every single time you complain about the narcissist being overpowering toward you and how much you don't like it, your emotions that go along with that are trying to convey a message. And my question is, are you listening? Are you paying attention to what your emotions are saying? When you feel angry, or when you feel fearful, or when you have unnecessary guilt and shame, the emotions are there. It's your way of saying, I'm not comfortable with this. This doesn't make sense to me. This is not something that's beneficial at all. And let's see if we can go inside and follow the trail that those emotions are trying to lead us toward and move on to a different way. I'm hoping that as the narcissist says, I have to have power over you, that you can internally respond, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game. I'm not into your power tactics. And I want to see if we can zero in on how you can recapture your power when the narcissist insists upon being the ultimate power person. Now, in order to do so, we need to focus on your mindset. You know, what kind of thoughts are guiding you as you engage with this person? Now, first and foremost, let's adjust your thinking and understand that the pursuit of power over other individuals is one of the most ultimate displays of neurotic compensation that you can see. Narcissists are terribly insecure. They fear being in the inadequate position, and so they have this notion that says, well, if I have inadequacies, But then if I can find inadequacies in you that are even worse, then that eliminates mine. And so it's their psychological math where it obviously comes out at your expense. Also, as you recognize that and you realize that that's no way for me to live, embrace what we refer to as psychological paradox. And by that I mean the best way for me to find power is to stop trying to find power over other individuals. Narcissists have concluded that I'm strong and I'm overwhelming when I can diminish other individuals. And frankly, there's a real powerful codependent element in that. They're counting on you to fit into their mold so that they can be okay, and so their self-esteem and their sense of well-being is contingent upon you playing along with their games. That's part of codependency. In addition, as you're getting your mind right, I'm hoping you can decide, and this is important. I'm hoping you can decide I want to be an inside-out person rather than an outside-in person. In other words, we want to focus on the word individuation. You're not just a cog inside someone else's machinery. You're your own separate person. The narcissist wants you to think, no, before you do anything, filter it through me. Before you have an opinion, make sure it matches mine. And they don't want you to be your own separate individual when in fact, you can think, well, there can be so many things out there that I just don't agree with. And the narcissist may stand for some things that I don't agree with that I need to ask, well, who am I? Well, then this takes us to another thought. And that is, I'm hoping as you are seeking to recapture your own internal power, that you can be a contemplative person. Are you the kind of person that likes to ask hard questions or intriguing questions about yourself? And first and foremost is, how do I define me? How do I define success? What traits, what characteristics are most appealing and seem to line up with my values? What gives my life meaning? And this isn't just a 1 or 2 time exercise. This is an ongoing thing that exercise that you can go into literally between now and your final day here on this earth, because things shift and priorities change and your beliefs evolve and grow and mature and wisdom kicks in. Contemplate, who am I and what am I going to be? And then you don't have to filter it through that narcissist. Now, again, as you go back and we say, as you're going to recapture your power, there's another huge thing that I want you to focus on, and that is concentrate heavily on your conflict resolution patterns. One of the easiest ways that a narcissist can show their craving for power is when conflict shows up. Now, with healthy people, when conflict comes along, you can say to the other person, I see that you have a very different perspective than mine. You have a history that doesn't lend itself to the same conclusions as mine does. Let's talk about that. And you would be open to that, and then they would be open to similar kinds of thoughts in reverse toward you. Narcissists could not care less about that kind of stuff. In conflict, they don't want to know. They don't want to understand. They just want to superimpose. And so as you contemplate your alternatives to conflict resolution, I'm hoping you can focus on traits like calm firmness, or assertiveness, or having resoluteness in maintaining your priorities. We have a word for that. It's called boundaries. As you define yourself well, and then you hold firmly to what you believe, then that's you saying, I'm taking back my sense of agency. I'm going to be my own person. Well, that being the case, then we're going to say, embrace free choice. The narcissist absolutely does not want you to do that. And by the way, you'll notice that they come toward you with a lot of imperatives. You better, you have to, you must, you can't, you should, you're supposed to. And those are huge red flags. It's their way of saying, no, I'm trying to exert my power over you. And then I'm hoping you can think, well, despite all of your imperatives, I have a free will. Freedom means I have the privilege to choose for myself. And I don't operate according to have to and must. I operate according to common sense. When a certain situation is in front of me, what does my free self believe? And how do I want to manage myself? And you wind up having more of a sense of calmness as you approach your circumstances, as opposed to questioning, well, did I get this right? Did I say this? Am I going to make this person mad or not? And then in addition, as you continue down this path, stop defending. The narcissist loves it when you get into a defensive posture, because what they'll do is they'll take any statement that you make and twist it like a pretzel, and don't give credibility to their predictable insults. Of course they're going to insult. It's part of their maintaining power, or attempting to. When they say you're stupid or you're no good, consider the source. It's probably their projection. They feel inept in terms of being able to respond to life's challenges, but did you see that in you? Don't give credibility to that. And then when the narcissist becomes too difficult, to the point where they're insulting and they're abusive and all like that, give yourself permission to remove yourself. Sometimes it will be permanently. Sometimes it's for a period of time. Seek the comfort of safe people. And when I say safe people, people who have empathy and people who want to know you, and they don't have a mold to fit you into. They just simply want to make sure that there's a healthy connection based on mutuality and love and goodness. Finding your power and reclaiming your power requires you to embrace non-power characteristics. That's a concept. That's that paradox I mentioned, and that's a concept that narcissists absolutely just can't grasp. Characteristics that, we say here on Team Healthy: dignity, respect, and civility. You want to have a sense that says, I want to stand for decency. I want to practice self-care. I want to make sure that my priorities are something that I follow through on. I want to have common sense, and I want to follow what my intuition says, as opposed to worrying about somebody else's negative reactions. I recall one woman, she was in her early 40s, and she was talking with me recently about how she had examined her family history and her former marriage. And it's like the whole thing was me trying to fit myself into everybody else's mold, until I finally realized I'm not very good at that. And then with excitement, she began talking about how she had been on a journey of self-discovery and how wonderful it was. I'm hoping you can go into that same type of direction. Now, when the narcissist predictably tries to invalidate all of this, what that tells me is, well, then your efforts are probably accurate. And I'm hoping you can also say, I can no longer afford to filter my identity through somebody whose goal is to destroy. I choose growth over subjugation. And I hope that videos like this can give you some food for thought. Gus found something else that was more interesting, so he took off. Okay, bless his heart. I'm hoping that you find videos like this to be helpful. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so. Also know that I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. And the reason I do that is because I know that so many of you want counseling, and sometimes you don't have full access to it. This is an online resource with licensed professional therapists. All you have to do is go through the link below, and then you can select the person you'd like to work with. Please, as the need is there, go ahead and invest in yourself and get that help. Also, I want you to go to my website and notice we have lots of resources on there. Primary among my resources are my courses. Speaking of power and boundaries, we have This Is Me, about establishing your boundaries. We have Anger Games and Free to Be, Ready, Set, Connect, about having healthy connections. We also have my 90-minute webinars. They're PowerPoint presentations along with articles, my books. We have lots of resources. Okay, the narcissist wants to overpower you and fill you with them and eliminate your uniqueness. And I'm hoping you can decide, all of the emotional garbage that goes along with that is just too high of a price for me to pay. I'm going to reclaim my power by establishing my identity in an individualistic kind of way. And in doing so, I'm hoping you can find yourself more and more capable of having your individuality, your steadiness, and ultimately you can find your place of peace.